What completely legal things, when done in public, make you look like a psychopath? Digging at night. Not swinging your arms when you walk. Asking a person for directions like, which way is the forest, and then going the completely opposite direction. Hey there, are you subscribed yet? Please do. Also leave a like on this video to help out the channel. Walking backwards. Ironing in the front yard in your bathrobe. Staring at somebody with direct eye contact and not saying anything. Talking alone to yourself. I do it sometimes when alone, but it makes you look like a crazy person if you do it in public. Brushing your teeth. Just straight up brushing your teeth in the street. Lockpicking the door to your own house because you've lost your key. I'm glad you are enjoying this video. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. As I learned in middle school, just breaking up laughing at something funny you thought about. Everything, according to my anxiety. Walking around drinking a glass of water from home. Wear your pants and shirt backwards. Keep a grin on your face while maintaining eye contact, freaks people the hell out. When entering an elevator, don't turn back around to face the exit. Sitting on the steps of an escalator. Walk into any store and just lay down. If anyone asks if you need help, tell them you're fine. Then, after a minute or so, stand up and go about your business. It's fine to carry around human bones, *ahem, I mean legal specimens, in creepy looking boxes. Everyone in my anatomy class was given a box and we took public transit with it while smelling like death. You could literally see creepy people on the bus move slowly away from us. Empty a chocolate sauce bottle and use it as a water bottle in the gym. Trench coat plus sunglasses. Taking your belt off, putting it in your pocket bag and continuing. Stop mid-walk and turn around. For some reason it doesn't feel right when I'm doing it. Ooh, story time. My old landlord's husband was clearing out a bunch of stuff recently after an operation, and the dude collected medieval weapons that he had to get rid of. Asked me if I wanted one. I said sure, it would be pretty sick. So walking back to the car at 10:30 at night, in pitch black, lit only by streetlights, I discovered there is no way to hold a two-handed axe without looking like a crazy person. Jogging in place. Anything short of waiting for a light to change and it's just odd. In line at the DMV. Jog in place. Waiting to use the bathroom at Starbucks? Jog in place. Standing awkwardly in the middle of a full park when you don't have kids. Jog in place. Visiting the Holocaust Museum? Jog in place. Waiting for the hot dog vendor to add relish. Jog in place. Waiting for the waitress to come back with the check. Jog in place. Standing in an elevator? Jog in place. Edit. I'm not changing the obvious typo, because now it means that you're staring down the hot dog guy and you plan to confiscate his cart to fuel your own hot dog business. I stand by what I said. BBQing with a flamethrower. Yes, it's legal. Take a mayonnaise jar, empty its contents, and fill it with vanilla pudding. Sit down and eat in public. There was an IATA post a few months ago about a dude who was drinking straight coffee creamer walking down the sidewalk. When I feel a bit of sensory overload, I tend to rock back and forward. I think it's a fairly common autistic thing, but I also find it calming to recite lyrics or poetry to myself. Focusing on the words and pacing helps. Jabberwocky is a fave. That does mean I'm the crazy lady on the bus, rocking back and forth muttering, "'Twas brillig." And the slithy toves, did gyre and gimble in the wave. Which is apparently ominous as duck. I am not sure if other people see me this way, but I always feel like a creep when looking straight ahead alone. I feel like the person in front of me is gonna turn around, see me, and think I am a creep. What's worse is I forcefully look around, but I also feel like that's weird, and that people will think I am trying to make it look like I am not looking at them when I really am. It's a weird dynamic. Being exuberant, joyful, if you're an adult. If you're a kid, it's perfectly fine. Find a group of friends and walk slowly on the sidewalk, making sure no one can get around you. Also completely lack self-awareness and point at things and stop to tell pointless stories of something that happened there. These psychopaths are everywhere. Sucking and licking your fingers lustfully. Loud talking, volume control in general. If you speak insanely loud but in a stop, generally respectful tone, during regular conversation with your cashier, people act mad weirded out. Also maintaining excessive eye contact makes people antsy. Talking to yourself in public too. Hold conversations while never breaking eye contact with their left ear. Do T-Rex arms while humming quietly to yourself the Jurassic Park song. When someone looks at you, stare back and start humming louder. This one time my ex-girlfriend asked me to pick up her prom dress from a friend. I went to the friend's house at around 9 p.m. and picked up the dress. She gave me no coat hanger or anything, so I just carried the dress in my clenched fist. As I was walking back home through a dark alleyway, it occurred to me that my hand is pretty sweaty and the dress might actually start smelling bad from all the sweat of my hand. I wanted to check the situation, so I smelled the dress. As I was standing in the alleyway in the darkness of the night, smelling a red dress that I was gripping in my sweaty hand, I saw a woman standing several feet from me, scared shitless, reaching for something in her purse, a phone. A pepper spray. At that point I became more scared, embarrassed than her and ran off. I ask Ume that to this day she's telling her friends a story about how she was almost murdered by a dress-stealing maniac rapist murderer. Eating a burger upside down. People look at me like I'm crazy, but it's the best way to get the flavor. Sitting on a park bench as a grown man brushing your dolly's hair and telling her what a pretty girl she is. Wearing a pair of whitey tighties on your head so your eyes see out the leg holes and you can feed yourself through the Y front. Drinking out of an open-ended cup. Take a stroller chest carrier with a fake baby in it, proceed as if it is in fact your living child. Bonus points if you can throw your voice. As a cyclist, making a left turn from the left turn lane. Legal if I signal first and don't impede traffic while getting into the turning lane, and even recommended by my DMV, but I've been yelled at for being insane on multiple occasions, always by drivers who were completely unaffected by my presence. Climb up the stairs 3 at a time, then going downstairs and skipping one step while mumbling math formulas to myself. Every time I do it, people look at me like I've grown a third eye, but like I'm just studying and exercising my legs. I had a friend of a friend who bought a jar of Prego pasta sauce at a 7-Eleven and just ate it. Stand alone in the center of a square smiling with a bouquet of flowers in your hands and looking at nothing. Squirting milk straight from a cow's udder into your mouth. Talking to yourself. Drive with both hands on the steering wheel with your eyes wide open. You're only allowed to blink when the light is red. Eating the grass at the park. Random lunges. Talking to someone on the phone with AirPods in, while also having long hair and or a hat on. 11/10 times it appears that I'm having a passionate conversation with my imaginary friend walking next to me. Clipping your toenails. Smoking 2 cigarettes at once. Mussolini hand puppet. Sit on your front porch in a bathing suit and start eating Jell-O with great enthusiasm. Then begin rubbing it all over your body. Nothing illegal about it. Ketchup on steak. Using a slice of cheese as a bookmark for a book you own. Fill Windex bottle with Gatorade and drink in public. Drinking out of a cup in public. A regular household dinner table cup. Eating chocolate out of a diaper. Initiating conversations with strangers. Just staring at someone and not saying anything. There's a guy in my town that has a portable karaoke and casually walks around singing to himself and dancing. He's not a busker or entertainer, just in another world. Laugh when nobody does when watching a movie in a cinema. My teacher told some fun stories. These were all completely legal, deactivated items, mind you. 1. Cycling along and crashing, he spilled a full batch of grenades on the road. 2. Driving with a trunk full of weapons, he noticed that the RPG was sticking up and blocking his rear view mirror. So at the next red light, he quickly hops out, goes back, takes out the RPG, fiddles with the rest of the guns, puts it back in, then waves to the driver behind him. You know, sorry for being that guy. He then notices that the car behind him is one of those money trucks, with 2 drivers sweating profusely and pale as a wall, and there are trucks parked on either side. It looked totally like they drove into a trap and a guy was going to RPG them for the cash. Walk up to random people, say a random date, then walk away. Casually walking around town with half a pig on your shoulders is a surefire way for people to never bother you. Take your waifu pillow with you everywhere. Stare at passersby directly in the eyes for sustained periods. Getting out of a cab and not closing the door. Walk around in a bathrobe and underpants. Drinking water from a glass in public. Like, where did you get a glass from? Walk into a store and start a protest warning, only works once. If someone says your name, make instant wide eye contact without turning your head. Then, while keeping eye contact and no blinking, slowly turning your head towards the person who called you in one painfully long, smooth motion while asking, "Yes." Cracking a wide and toothy grin while doing so and then blinking painfully slow, making sure that one eye lags behind a millisecond behind the other. Hold eye contact for as long as possible, and if someone else interrupts you, repeat the entire exact process to them. Continue grin during entire conversation and never move your head in any other way than a painfully slow swivel. Blink as little as possible, taking your time when doing so. Done this to many a person, it's fun. Eat pizza with a fork. Think like Gollum. Do it. Picking onions at the supermarket. I was taught to pick the firmest, but you could also tell how fresh the onion is by smelling it. Ohs, that probably look weird, especially as I don't just buy 1 or 2 at a time. If there is an aroma of rotting onion, leave it there. ... Laying down on the sidewalk. I did it when I was a child and this lady came up to me and asked if I was okay and I distinctly remember I just said, "Yeah, I'm just playing with the bush, xdddwtf was I doing as a child lmaoo." Just stopping, not to look at your phone or tie your shoes, just walking, then you suddenly stop. Be visibly different in any way, apparently. As someone who works overnight, gardening at 2 a.m. Taking any other animal than a dog for a walk x. A cat. Take off your belt. Taking somebody's groceries at the checkout. They haven't paid for it yet, so it isn't theirs. Running. Running is weird. Once I was drunk in a park, we were drinking with some friends, and I wanted to pee. The park wasn't big and it was full of people that day, so no pee in a tree. I remembered there was a gas station like 200 meters away, so I started running to there, and everyone turned around and stared at me. I decided to slow down and walk to the public bathroom because I felt uncomfortable. 2 things, here is perfectly legal to drink in a public space, and it was in a recital made in the park, that was why there was too much people.